welcome all of you to our Reader's Theater of the Grinch. As you may or may not know, a Reader's Theater is all done with voice, so we don't have props. We have festive costumes, but we don't dress up during Reader's Theater, so it's all voice. One of the skills that we talked about in reading for this presentation was fluency. So the first thing we did with the children, well, we assigned them parts. And then fluency is, first of all, knowing all the words. So if there were unknown words in their lines, we helped them decode them or figure out the words so that they would know the words. We also talked a lot about expression, using our expression and not trying to be monotone, but making ups and downs. And we talked a lot about rate. So not too fast, not too slow, but trying to have a nice pace of something like we would talk about. The other thing we practiced a lot is really trying to eject our voices, as we knew there would be people way back there. So they're going to do their best to do that for you. But again, the skill is fluency, and they are excited to present the Grinch for you. So we will begin right now.
The Grinch Who Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss.
Every who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot.
But the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please, don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right.
It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was two sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood on Christmas Eve hating the Who. Staring down from his cave with a sour crunchy frown at the warm weather where he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging their mistletoe wreaths.
And they're hanging their stockings.
He snarled with a sneer.
Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here.
Then he growled with his Grinch fingers, nervously drumming.
I must find some way to stop this Christmas from coming.
For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake up bright and early. They'd rush for their toys, and then all the noise, noise.
That's one thing he hated.
The noise. Then the whole young and old would sit down to a feast. They'd feast.
And they feast.
And they'd feast. Feast.
Feast. They would feast and Who pudding and where Who roast feast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least.
And then they do something he liked least of all.
Every Who came to them, the tall, the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells. They'd stand hand in hand.
And the Who's would start singing.
They'd sing.
And they'd sing.
And they'd sing. Sing.
And the more the Grinch thought of this whole Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought.
I must stop this whole thing. Why? For 53 years. I put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming.
But how? Then he got an idea. An awful idea.
The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do.
The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and coat. And he chuckled and clucked.
What a great Grinchy trick. With his hat and his coat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are kids, there was none to be found.
Did,
Oh, did that stop the old Grinch?
no.
The Grinch simply said,
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
so he called his dog Max
number 1.
The old Grinchy claus hissed.
And he climbed to the roof to empty bags on his fist.
Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch.
But if Santa could do it, then so can the Grinch.
He got stuck only once for a moment or two.
Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue where the little Who stockings all hung in the row.
These stockings
He grinned.
are the first things to go.
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant. Around the whole room he took every present. Papa. And bicycles. Roller skates.
Drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums.
He stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox.
And
He took the Who's beef.
he took the Who pudding. He took the roast beef.
He cleaned out that icebox as quickly as he could. Why, the Grinch even took the last can of food hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee.
And now
Grinned the Grinch.
I will stop up the tree.
And the Grinch grabbed the tree and started to shove. When he heard a small sound like the coo of a dog, he turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy the Who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by his tiny daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water.
He stared at the Grinch and said,
Why into your Christmas tree? Why?
but you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie. He thought it up quick.
Oh, my sweet little tot.
That makes Santa Claus lie.
There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side, so I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here.
And his fifth the child. Then he petted her head and got her a cake and sent her to bed. Then when Cindy Lou went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuck the tree up.
The last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire.
And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse.
Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses.
Leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses.
It was 1:15 dawn. All the Who's still in a bed. All the Who's still a snooze. When he packed up his sled,
Packed it up with their presents,
the ribbons,
the wrapping,
the tags, and the tinsel,
the trimming, the trapping, 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Trumpet. He rode with his load to the tip top to dump it.
Pooh-pooh to the Who's.
He was graciously humming.
They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up and they'll just look
The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He didn't stop Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same.
And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet, ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags.
And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas
He thought,
doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
and what happened then?
Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch is a small heart with 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his loud bolt through the bright morning light. And then he brought back the toys
And the food for your feast.
and he
himself, the Grinch carved the roast beast.
I have to tell you, there were a lot of nerves before today, and a lot of like stage fright. Mrs. Ottom's stage fright. So really, what you heard right now was their best, and they really pulled through because that was very hard for some of these kids to get up in front of you. So I think they did an excellent job, and I'm very, very proud of you. Good job. All right. Families, what you can do now is if you are a parent and you want to take your child early today, you may do that. I realize it's 3:15, so if that helps you out, you can do that. You're welcome to stay. This is usually a time where they do partner reading or listening to reading. If you would, we can move our desks back a little bit. They can get a book box. I don't know if the library is open. If it is, it could be quieter in there that you could sit with your child and listen to some stories that they have in their book box. Or if we don't see you, have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year, and thank you so much for coming today.